hope you can't hear the screaming children and the barking dogs and the city sounds. Hello my beautiful friends from the internet. I hope you're doing well, I hope you're safe, and I hope that you're happy. Welcome back to my channel. On today's videos we're going to talk about journaling, about why and how to journal. If you don't know, journaling is mainly a technique in which you grab a journal, you grab a pen, and you just write. And it's a technique that it's really helpful. It's something that I really picked up on my last yoga teacher training that I did in Bali with Megan Curry, which was beautiful and amazing, and I really want to actually film a video about it. But yeah, so we mainly had to journal every day throughout the entire month after our 3-hour practices in the morning. So since I did it for an entire month, it's a habit that really stuck with me, and it's something that really helped me in my self-knowledge and self-awareness journey. And that's why I wanted to share this with you today. We're gonna cover first why and then how to journal, and then make sure you stick until the end of the video, because then I'm gonna share a few questions that can inspire you to get going on your journaling journey. That's cute, journaling journey. Start with our first reason why. It's a really powerful self-knowledge tool. And why do I say this? It's because whenever you start journaling and whenever you're doing it for a extended period of time, for example for 1 or 2 months, you start realizing that sometimes our patterns in thoughts and our pattern in feelings, they kind of cycle. For example, for me, I started noticing that every day towards the end of the month I would feel unmotivated, and I just wanted to quit on life, and I just wanted to stop what I was doing. I just felt like shit. And then when I started journaling for a while, I started realizing that it always happened towards the same area of the month. And then I realized it had to do a lot with paying bills, and then I got worried about this, and then I felt scarcity, and then everything would just build up. And so when I had this awareness with me because of the journaling practices, I started reminding myself whenever this time of the month came that I needed to pay my bills and stuff like that, that I shouldn't feel like this. And then, since I already knew that this was a trigger for me, then I was always open and I was always prepared to receive this period of time in the month in the same way. And it's the same with women, for example. Sometimes when we get our periods and stuff like that, we can always feel the same feelings bubbling up in that period in our month. So it's a very interesting way for you to reread what you wrote and aware of your thoughts and your feelings and your limiting beliefs. And that's why I think it's such a powerful self-knowledge tool. Moving on to our second big reason why we should journal is that it really liberates your mind. And as if our mind and our consciousness were this beautiful blue sky, and our pattern of emotions, feelings, and limiting beliefs were clouds in this beautiful blue sky. And it's as if journaling were actually like this big strong wind that you blow, and you allow these clouds to move from and disperse from your beautiful blue sky, and then you end up having this blue, liberated, clean sky. And then when you have this consciousness that is more liberated and more clean, you finally have space to create something new. You have space to create a new life, you have space to create new thoughts, new emotions, new feelings, and you have space to understand who you really are. Because I always say this, we're not our thoughts and we're not our feelings. We are something else. We are behind all of this. We are this beautiful blue sky, but we sometimes get so attached to those thoughts and feelings that we feel that we are them. And then we think a lot of things about ourselves because of those thoughts and feelings. When you actually allow yourself to put on this stream of consciousness out of your body, and then you finally end up with this liberated mind and liberated consciousness. My final and third reason why, big reason why, is that it helps you to work things through. So once you've actually liberated your mind, you can finally allow yourself to work things through, because as I said before, you have this beautiful and blue sky liberated, and then you can finally allow yourself to take a look at your things and take a look at all of your stuff that's coming up, especially while you reread everything that you wrote, and then you finally understand, okay, how can I work through this? Oh, okay, so I'm seeing that I have this pattern with, for example, unworthiness, and it's coming up almost every week in my journaling. Okay, so now that I have this clear state of mind, how can I work through this unworthiness that I've realized that is a pattern? So those are my 3 big reasons why. I hope that it's enough for you to now venture on to our top tips on how to start journaling. My first top tip is get a journal that you really love and that really inspires you to journal. I actually have 2 of my journals here. This one was the first one that I got when I was in my teacher training. This one is from Bali. As you can see, it's not an A4 and it's not an A5. I'm not sure what it is. I'm just gonna put it on the screen because I'm not sure. But what I love about this journal is that it actually is a bit wider on the sides, and so it was really great because I had more space to write. And something else that I really loved about this one is that it opens up and just stays put like this, so it's not like cramping back and forth, because I hate this. This one was my ultimate favorite. I love it with all of my heart, and it was my first one, and I was choosing the journal. I chose one that I loved the cover and that it really made me inspired to write on it. But then for my second one, being truly honest, I was in Brazil, I was in quarantine, there was no way I could grab my hands on another journal, and I just really wanted to pick it up again because it makes me feel so more peaceful. And then I just grabbed this black one and I ripped like some of the things that were up here, but then this one is like less wide over here and it doesn't stay put as the other one. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys both of the journals that I was using. But this one is like, I love it. My second big tip is make it a habit. Make time for it and do it every day, at least for like 21 to 30 days. Because then when you really make time for it every day, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even make it like a very rigid routine, but just make time for it every day. It's like 5 minutes of your day. You can open up after you wake up, or you can open it up after your yoga, or you can open it up after your breakfast, whatever you would like. Once you do, you realize how it just becomes a part of you, and then you won't even want to skip a day. My third big tip for you is that you should allow your mind to take the back seat and just write whatever. So don't really put pressure on yourself to make it beautiful, to make it poetic, to make it something that sometimes it's just not gonna happen. I think it's really important for you, whenever you're journaling or start journaling, for you to just put your mind aside for a bit. Put the mind's agenda aside for a bit, you know? Not all those thoughts and feelings and limiting beliefs should just flood out of you and onto the journal. But while we're in this topic, I think it's important also to allow the mind to come in when it's important. This is a very big thing that I want to say here, because sometimes I am so connected to staying positive that I actually forget that my mind plays an important part. Our minds and our egos still play an important part in our consciousness and in our everydays. They are not meant to be forgotten. It was really important for me when I realized that, because I started paying attention to my mind as well and allowing it to come through. So although I do believe that we need to allow our minds to take the back seat and just let those things flood from us, I think it's also important for us to understand when our minds are just so active that we need to pay attention to them. For example, when I was feeling those feelings of unworthiness, I would just let my mind say the things. I would just write them. I would just say, I am shit. I feel like shit today. I feel like I'm not worthy of love. I feel like I am horrible. I don't like myself today. I feel like no one wants to listen to what I'm saying and blah blah blah. And I just allowed myself to read and to surrender and to admit that I was feeling those things, you know. So I think it's really important for us to allow this stream of consciousness to flood through us, but at the same time allowing the mind to stay active and paying attention to it and not ignoring it and not pretending that it's not there. So for my next top tip, it's really important for you to realize that it can be anything. Journaling can be stream of consciousness, whatever writing, so you just write whatever you're feeling, or you write whatever is happening in your moment. So for example, I could write about my feelings, but I could write, for example, today I filmed a YouTube video and I think it went like this and this and this and this, like a diary. Or it can be a drawing. There were a few times and a few moments in the teacher training and up to now that I drew things that I saw in my meditations, or that I thought it was pretty, or just like doodling a random flower or something, you know. It can be random words as well. Sometimes you feel like it's really hard to express yourself in phrases, so you just write random words and then maybe something will flow out of it, maybe like a phrase or something, or maybe not. Maybe that day you just want to write random words, and then maybe one day you end up writing a poem, maybe one day you end up writing a beautiful thing, maybe one day you channel something, you know. But it's important for you to not make it a very rigid process. You should just allow yourself. And that's actually my last and final tip. Allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. Allow yourself to express it in the way that you want to. Allow yourself to just do whatever. Journaling is your moment. It's kind of as if it was a self-love moment, you know, a self-love and self-care and self-knowledge moment. So don't make it rigid, don't make it an obligation in a way as well. Make it something that you really love. Allow yourself to do whatever you want with it. If you really need help with allowing and with calming your mind and taking your mind to this backseat space, you can, for example, take some deep breaths. So whenever you want to start journaling, you just sit down on your chair, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and then you start writing, and so you feel yourself more quiet and in a more peaceful place. That's it for my how and why to journal. And so now we're gonna just venture on to 3 very quick questions that I really wanted to put out to you, so it maybe help you with your journaling journey. So the first question that I wanted to put out is, what would I do differently if I knew that no one would judge me? That's really deep, so give it a good thought. Second question, what would I do differently if I had no fear? which is really interesting because it will make you think about your fears, and then you would think about, oh, what if I didn't have them? So it's a really, really nice question. And then the third one, which is my most favorite one, is what do I love about myself? And this can be a trace in your personality, it can be something in your physical body, it can be something in your spiritual body, it can be whatever you'd like. Finally covered all of our tips and hows and whys and questions about journaling. I hope you loved this video. I hope it inspires you to really dive deep inside of yourself. If you have any comments, any questions, or even if you have more inspirations or more tips and ideas on how to start journaling, comment here down below. Subscribe as well if you want more inspirations on how to dive deep into yourself and get more self-knowledge and spirituality and yoga inspirations as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful and inspiring day, and I'll see you again very, very, very soon. Bye!